Hello everyone, welcome back. This is my first ship build of the year. It was inspired by Matilija's latest update 6.0, so I am sharing with you, hopefully in turn to also inspire you to build your own ship. I'll give you guys a quick overview and I'll take you to do an interior tour as well. I am using a lot of pre-decorated hubs from different mods and they actually look really nice. I mean, much better decoration job that I would have done it myself. When it comes to the stats, the numbers, they're pretty good. I mean, we are using, after all, mod parts, so you're getting much higher numbers that you could possibly get with vanilla parts. So if you need a ship to take to combat, this will get the job done with absolutely no problems. I mean, you have 4,000 in shield, and this is just base numbers without counting the bonus from your skills level, so it only goes up from there. I am also using very good Matilija weapons. They're not very high damage, but I went with fast firing weapons. So I have a set of particle beams. These ones are mainly to take down enemy shields and followed by turrets. I have a set of turrets, ballistic turrets to do the hull damage and finish off the enemy ships. I also have another set of manual ballistic weapons that are under these weapon holds. So I have two here and two below. These are pretty cool because when you're in space, the top opens and then the weapon rises up. So it's very nice, very cool animation. And in case you're wondering, the weapon that is under there is the Matilija BWP-20 ballistic weapons. And the second part of this video is going to be all the requirements or the mods that you need for this build, as well as a full guide to build this ship. Before we do the interior tour, there's one thing that I need help from you guys. I'm not very good at choosing name for my ships, and so maybe you guys can come up with a name for this ship. I call this ship the Choker. The reason is because it's very wide, it has a lot of girth, but if you guys have a better name, let me know. So let's go ahead now and take a look at the inside of this ship. One thing that I cannot believe I haven't used until now are these Matilija cargo holds. They're animated, so when you're landed, you can see all these cargo hold, all the stuff, but once you take off, the whole thing rises, goes back in and the door closes. So I have two of those. It's pretty cool, and I wish I used those earlier. We have the Matilija bridge and beautiful lights underneath them. One of the main reasons why I wanted to do this build is this hangar for Matilija. I think is pretty fantastic. I'm only sad that I cannot decorate inside this hangar, but I think that's a limitation of the game because technically you're not inside the ship yet. Then also this is not exactly your outpost, so whenever you try to build anything, it just kind of goes right through the hangar and it kind of ends up showing up below it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in from here, from this axis, and then we're gonna do the entire tour and we should come out from that axis. So let's go ahead and let's start the interior tour. And the first hub that we have here is the Tiger 3x3x2. This is a two-story hub and I really like it because it's very functional. It's very well decorated as well, and I like to use it whenever I am building large ships. It has built-in stairs, so it kind of eliminates the need for ladders in a lot of places, and very nicely decorated, very functional. You have your workroom with all your benches and everything, and then you also have areas for bed and a kind of area for mess hall. And every time I can see my companions, my crew, always doing something and not just standing around. So it is a pretty cool one. And before we go upstairs, I have something else to show you guys here at the back. This is another one of those pre-decorated hubs. This is the Trident one, the one that you have your rover inside. It's pretty cool. I really like this one. I put a couple of windows around just to kind of give it a little bit more open space. And this is pretty cool. I didn't know there was this thing, but you can press a button and this rises up with tools and things like that. so it's pretty neat. There's also another one of these on the other end as well, but as you can see, everything is kind of very nicely decorated. There is this hydraulics computer here that I thought I could do changes, but actually nothing. It's just mostly for decoration. And on this side, you also have a lot of workbenches as well, and another button that you can click that raises the other side. So it's pretty cool. Very nice hub. Kind of like this one quite a lot. And on the other side, I think over here, all I have is just a 1x1. This is just for the docker. There's nothing else, nothing much going on. Just a window and all that stuff. Now on here, another pretty cool hub. So this is a G-Tech 2x1, and it is one of those what is it called, airlocks. So you have this area where you can put spacesuits on these mannequins that I neglected to do, and then you have this separate door just here for the airlock. And so what I have installed here is this mod for the airlock door. So when you're in space, you can actually open this up and go out on a spacewalk. So kind of, a little bit more immersive, and it makes everything a little bit more kind of realistic, So this is a pretty cool touch. And alright, so now I think we can go up to the second floor, where I think a lot of the kind of cool hubs are. So this is the second floor of the Tiger Hub. It is a living space with kind of kitchen areas. You still have a lot of functioning things like, the cooking station, all of that. You still have also a lot of beds and things like that. So let me take you guys to, I think this is the port side. The left side is the port or the starboard, I forgot. But I ended up making that side the captain's quarters. So it's a combination of different hubs, and what I'm using here are the Straw Premium Edition hubs. So this is, I think, a 2x2. This is what it calls, I think, a living quarters or something like that. And you have a bar, a pool table, all the stuff, sitting areas, and a lot of sitting areas here as well. And in here on this side, this door, this leads to the 2x1 captain's quarters. So as you come in here, there is this very nicely decorated office area, and then on the other side we have the bed and the bedroom. This is just all for the captains. And of course, the bathroom. And look at this, the bathroom is like a nicely done bathroom. So you have a shower, right? There's a washer and all that stuff. So it's very nicely decorated, much nicer that I will be able to do. And let me see, what is this button? Oh, I didn't know that you could actually turn on, and there's a TV with ads and things at the screen that you can actually turn on. Oh, that's pretty nice. That's pretty neat. I actually didn't know that. Alright, so you have a safe and a lot of other things. And oh, I forgot to show you guys, there's also this fireplace in here. So that turns on the fireplace, and then you can open the door, or you can also, switch it off as well. So it's pretty cool stuff. And what I have here is, I think it's the 2x3 mess hall. Not particularly happy that, when you come in here, is into a hydroponics area. But other than that is, another very nice hub, very nicely decorated hub. So you have the hydroponics area, you have this kind of an office area, and this door kind of leads to that living area that we have with the pool table a moment ago. And this is probably one of my favorite hubs here, because check this out. So aside from, a very nice decoration, you can also open the big ceiling skylight. I think it's this button here. And I think the other button was for the fireplace. Right, the other one's for the fireplace, and the red button is the one that opens up this. I really wanted a very unobstructed view of the skyline. Oh, and check this out. You can see ships landing. Fantastic view. So I really wanted to incorporate this in the design. And aside from that, you have a very, very beautifully decorated, it is called a mess hall, but you kind of have a little bit of everything. There's a conference room, you have a kitchen, and I think a couple of buttons that you can open the blinds. I think this is the light. So one is the light, the other one is the blind, so to allow you to see through into the hydroponics. The fridge, everything. So pretty good. I really like this. And over here, so what I have is basically the glass corner hubs from Matilija, and this is here really just for the view, right? Like whether you're in space or at your outpost, I mean, the view is just kind of pretty fantastic. And it kind of also makes sense for a ship. You kind of want to be able to see where the enemy ships are and things like that. So it kind of makes sense to have one of these things here as well. And this is the other door. It just goes back to the same place. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. So New Atlantis, over there, my outpost over here. Let's go to the other side, which is the crew member area. So we can exit from here. And that would take us back to the Tiger 3x3x2. Another thing about the Tiger hub is this one. You have a trade authority inside your ship, so you can do your selling right from here. Not to mention all the mission boards and things like that. So really functional, even the second floor. So let's go to this end across, and this wing here, it became kind of like a crew area. So we have these also, I think, a different style 2x2 living space. You have a smaller conference room, but also still a kitchen area, and there is this sitting area here, the hydroponics. That is the beginning of a different hub. But over here we have the Straw Premium all-in-one berth. So it is a modified version of the standard one. You still have a bunk bed, but I think you have an additional bunk bed here and a smaller table. And over here, so we're basically now going to the same kind of mess hall that we had on the other side. So there's the hydroponics, and then the conference area and the fireplace, and you can turn on the fire. So same thing, unobstructed view of your outpost and things like that. Really love this. And over here I have, of course, the ship is symmetric, so we have another of these big Matilija corner hubs, and you can see the rest of the outpost. So yeah, there you have it. Okay, so I think we can now go to the second floor. And over here I have this pathway. I like this one very much because you have a window, you can see the shield boosters and the AvonTech. I think it's I forgot what part it's called, but we can take a look at it later when we do the build. And very strategically placed so that you can kind of have this view inside your ship. It's just stairs. We have this one that leads to the second floor. No, that leads to a third floor. And of course, windows, portholes on the sides. Those are the glowing ship parts from the mod called glowing ship parts. What I have here is the infirmary, and this is also from the Stroud Premium Edition infirmary. I don't know what the difference is, but anyway, so that's that. And over here at the top we have the small observatory. I didn't put the big one because the exterior design didn't look too good, so we use a smaller one. And yeah, I like this very much. The view is fantastic. So yeah, I also like those Matilija weapons, right? Because they animate, and also the Matilija shield at the back, the purple one, also animates. So pretty cool. We go down later to the armory. We're gonna take to the side, and I have here. This is just a 1x1. I'm not very happy about this because I have to kind of go around, come back. We have another corner hub here, just for the views. And what I have in here is a hydroponic hub. This one is also from Stroud Premium Edition. So it's basically very similar to the one in the mess hall. So, but you have one in the center, and we have kind of just two more blocks of empty storage areas. So slightly similar. And that's there. So, but the fact that I have to kind of go around it is the one thing that I'm not so happy about. And if we go to the other wing, it kind of happens the same thing. But instead of hydroponics, I put a battle station, and this is the standard battle station. And on the other side, same thing, you know, the Matilija corner hubs. And now I think we can just go straight to the bridge. And going straight to the bridge, we pass the armory. This is also from the Stroud Premium Edition armory. I was testing to make sure that it is possible, and yeah, you can put a mannequin inside yourself with a decoration. So a lot of weapons, pretty cool. You have actually a mat that is a weapon bench here, and on the other side you have a mat that is a spacesuit workbench. So pretty nice. We have all of that here, pretty functional. And now the view not particularly great here because we have other hubs next to each other, but this is the new Matilija 6.0 bridge. It is very nice, and you can decorate with anything that you like. And what I have on each of those two sides is a weapon battle station. I forgot the official name, but basically you have, you know, the battle station, the computers, but then you can see the weapons. So when it's landed, you can see the weapons inside. Once we go into space, so the top area will open and then the weapon rises up. So that's pretty cool. And I have two of these on each side. So there's one here, and then when we go to the other side, we have the same thing, just, you know, for the other set of weapons. After that, once we go down, we have pretty nice golden restrooms and some monitors. The monitors are kind of floating right now. And over here we have a pathway that leads to the outpost. So this is the other exit, and we are outside. So we went in from there and we came out of here. Pretty fantastic. Let's go now do the building. Alright, here are the pre-requirements that you're gonna need before we begin with the shipbuilding. So make sure that you are at rank 4 for ship design skills as well as ship piloting skills. Also make sure that you are at level 95 at least. And set aside about maybe 2 million credits to do this build. I don't think you're gonna need that much, but just in case, if you do not have credits, here is the command that you can use to add yourself credits, and you can feel free to replace the number 2 million for something else like 5 or 10 or something like that. Alright, now let's talk about all the mods that you're gonna need. So I'm gonna give you all these mods in alphabetical order. Number 1, we have all ship parts unlocked so that you can do this at your outpost landing pad without having to go to other places. Then of course we're gonna need AvonTech, we're gonna need AvonTech Shipyards, and we're also gonna need AvonTech Traveler. Then glowing ship modules, project by Inquisitor. We also need GTech hubs, of course Matilija aerospace. I am using version 6.0. We're gonna need shipbuilding twigs because the ship is oversized. Now you have the option to either use shipbuilding twigs, or if you have shipbuilder configurator, I believe those two mods kind of do the same thing, so either one will do the trick. Then we also need ship extension, that is for the stairs. Stroud Premium Edition, those are for the hubs. Tiger Shipyards Overhaul. Then Trident Luxury Workshop and Rev 8 Hangar. And finally, we have the ZSW airlocks. Okay, so I separated the ship into major sections, and we're gonna go over one section at a time, and then at the end we're gonna put it all together. It should be pretty simple. I'll guide you step by step. This is actually a pretty simple build because we have a lot of large hubs that once you kind of put them together, the majority, the big shape of the ship is all done, and after that it's just kind of decoration, small, necessary items that we're gonna add. So don't worry about looking at everything. We're gonna start with here, like the main body of the ship. So don't worry about everything else that is on the side. So very simple. What we're gonna start is by connecting the two largest hubs. So one is the Matilija hangar, and you're gonna find that under the base. So you're gonna grab that, and then you're gonna connect it together to the Tiger Hub 3x3x2, the Frontier one. There's also an empty version if you prefer to do the kind of decoration by yourself, but otherwise these two just goes back to back. So let me remove this a little bit to show you, like there's really nothing. So these two goes together. To the side of these two hubs, you're gonna put the 3x2. This is the Stroud Premium Edition mess hall. There are a couple of those, so make sure that the window is at the center, because there are a couple of variants that if I switch, that that is a little bit forward, and then so you do not want that because then the view is going to be obstructed. So make sure that you grab the one that is mess hall B top. So we're gonna put it here, and the only thing you have to be aware is like the last entrance connects to the first entrance here of the Frontier. So that's where the location is. So 2 blocks are gonna be with the hangar, and a 1 block is going to be with the Frontier. And you do the same on the other side. It is also the same part, the mess hall B 3x2, the top one. You can also choose the empty one if you prefer to do the decoration yourself. Behind those hubs, you have the Stroud Premier Edition, the living space. This is the corner for the captain's quarters. So I am using the living space, the 2x2, and adding this, everything should sit flush with the Tiger hub. And then following that on this side, we have the captain's quarters, the 2x1, and I am using the 4 version. I think there is another variant, the aft. I am going with the 4. I think it's just where you want the door to be and where you want the restroom to be. So I kind of like this one. just so that the bathroom is here. Otherwise the bathroom will end up here. You can do either. I just kind of personal preference. I like this one. So that is that. And on the other side, you also gonna add another 2x2. This is for the crew area. So instead of a living space, I put a Straw Premium Edition living quarters. And this is the living quarters A, the 2x2. And next to that, instead of a captain's quarters, is going to be the crew quarters. So, and also Straw Premium Edition. So once you have that, you should kind of have the majority of the shape plus the wing, part of the wing already done. And what we have to do now is just add the Matilija aerospace, the large corner deck. So we're gonna grab this one, and this is gonna just go right in the corner here. And then on the other side, you're also gonna grab another corner, just flip it, use the variants, the arrows, until you get the correct direction, and you just shove it in there. And let's do some of the small decorative things from here. So let's add this. This is the Nova wing. This is a vanilla structure part, so from Nova Galactic, and solely for decoration, goes in there. And same thing, grab another one to put it there as well. And then we also have few straw decorative structure parts. So this one is the Straw Nose Cap C. So just go to structures. One thing about this, for all the parts, I cannot change all the 3 colors to dark gray. This is the only part that color number 3 I did not touch, because color number 3 is the little red thing area here, and I didn't want to mess with that. I kind of like this red there, but if you change it, it kind of messes the other colors and these colors. So just be aware of that. I think this is the only part where I did not change color number 3. All the others I kind of just all change the hubs, all the stuff to the dark gray, which is this one, the default one. It's not fully black, it's just dark gray. And this goes in here, so it sits kind of aligns with the Nova wing. And at the back there is another vanilla structure part. This is the Straw Cap B. It just perfectly kind of fits with the Nose Cap C, so it kind of has that curvature that kind of sits perfectly. And on top of that, we have the AvonTech tail. So this is going to be from the AvonTech structure part. You're gonna put it at the top, and not forward, it goes in here in the middle one. And same thing on the other side, we're doing exactly the same thing. And let's talk about the weapons. So we have 2 set of weapons here. We have weapon plates underneath, otherwise you will not be able to mount them. So this one is the Matilija. This is the class A, the particle beam, direct fire particle beam. And this one here is a turret. So this one is the class C, the port dual barrel flak. And you can flip this into to face to different sides, and I like to flip it towards the outside. So yeah, that's there, and we're doing exactly the same on the other side. So let's talk about these hubs here at the back. So these 2 hubs below, they connect to the first floor of the Tiger Frontier. So this here is the Trident workshop hangar, and this is the one with the vehicle, the decoration in there. And this is the only part on the ship that is not symmetric. So there is that there. And on the other side here, this is the G-Tech Nova Galactic airlock. So this is the airlock, the one with the door, so that you can do the spacewalk. So once you put these 2 things together, we're gonna look for the airlock. And the airlock is something that once you install the mod, you're gonna find it under equipment, and you're gonna look for the 0 manual button door. So there are a couple of versions. There's an auto door that as you get close to the door, it will automatically open. Let me zoom out a little bit. So equipment, zero manual door is the first one, and then what you're gonna do is use the Z to flip it. So we're looking for not the starboard, I think we're looking for the port. So that's the one that you're looking for, unless you want to put that door somewhere else. Keep in mind, during the shipbuilding process, you're not going to see the door. It's just the two light bars on the side. You only see the actual door once you go in the game. And then once you highlight it, you can just boom, put it there. And I put some portholes. If you like those, you can put them as well. So I have one here on the side, and I have one here at the back, and same thing on the other side. So on the other side, instead of the door for the spacewalk, I replace it with another porthole on that side. And then at the top here, this one is the AvonTech radiator. This is the one that from the mod, from the glowing parts mod, and I went with the blue ones, but you can put anything, and you can find this under structure as well. Then in front of that, we have Matilija aerospace shell boosters, 2 on each side, and those you will also find them under equipment. I think here at the top you're gonna find them under equipment, shell boosters, and you have 2 different variants. So switch to the one that goes along front and back. So the first level, this one is done. We can now kind of go to the bottom. It's pretty simple at the bottom part, so not a lot going on. First, when you bring the Matilija hangar, you already have a building landing gear, and I just put a couple more. So I put a few more Matilija landing gears, to be more specific, 6 of those back to back. These are the Aerospace 330 CB landing gears, so back to back, and basically all along below the Tiger hub. And we finish with a decorative aerospace skeg. And this is a structure, just so kind of looks like the front as well. And we do the same thing on the other side. And the skeg, you're gonna find it under structure. In the middle, we have some stuff. So first here, we have a tire braking engine. This is a structure. This is just for looks. It goes right in the first available spot that you can actually put something, right? Behind that, we have a graph drive. We are using the Matilija Nebula SF30 graph drive. Feel free to use a different one if you prefer. Just make sure that it's something that can fit. Behind that, we have some helium tanks. These are the 500T. These are standard helium tanks, vanilla parts. Behind, I have a Tiger cluster reactor booster. This is a reactor booster just to add on top of the power that you get from the standard reactor. So the reactor booster is something that you're gonna find under structure. It is not under reactors. So you go to structures, that goes in here behind the helium tank. You can arrange them in different ways if you prefer. It doesn't have to be this way. Behind that, we have a cargo hold from Matilija. This is a shielded cargo hold for 1,000. So it's the CHLS 30. And behind that, we have a Deimos belly. This is just a vanilla structural part. So that goes in here. And this is, you're gonna find it under structures. So that at the end should see flash with the Trident workshop. So that is the middle part. We have a few more portholes at the first level of the Tiger hub. So 2 on each side, and there should be 2 on the other side. So then we gonna work our way out. Let's start here with the cargo hold. So this is a Matilija Aerospace, the CL30 cargo hold. This is one that actually has an animation, and this goes below the mess hall, the Stroud Premium mess hall. So the very last corner little block that you're able to put something, you're gonna start putting it there. So that goes there. In front of that, I have another helium tank. I think it's the same as this one. Yeah, it's the same. The 500T goes in here. And then in front of that, here, there is another cargo hold. This is the 30T hauler cargo hold. You can put, honestly, any other cargo hold. Here it doesn't have to be this. Anything that kind of allows you to attach things in front and on the side, it will work. And then the AvonTech, the Hope 5 landing gear, that goes in here. It actually sticks to the helium tank and not to the cargo hold. So that goes in here. And then we have some decorative parts. So in front of, this is why I say whatever you put here, make sure it's something that you can attach something in front of it, because we're putting a AvonTech thruster. This is a structural part. You're gonna find it under AvonTech. It's just decoration. And next to that, we have a Nova braking engine. Also just decoration, just structure. We have more structure decorations here. This is the Deimos Wing C. This is also from the glowing Shipyards mod, but this is just the standard Deimos Wing D, and that goes in here. So all that is just completely for decoration purposes. Below here, this is an AvonTech plating. This is also completely just for decoration purposes. Just so you know, we have some lights when we look at the ship from below. And here we have a few other things. So we have another cargo hold. This is the Polo 2030 cargo hold. And the reason why I use this is because below is it has a curve. So I just thought that, you know, it might look nicer when I attach Deimos bellies in front and after because of that the curvature here. So this thing goes below the 2x1, in this case the captain's quarters. It goes at the back. Don't worry about putting this belly now, because this belly actually is connected to the item that goes on top. It does not actually connect to this. You can put the belly in front of it. That one attaches to the hub at the top. And then outside we have another AvonTech tail. It's the same as at the top. So you just grab one and you flip it for the bottom. And the other side is exactly the same, exactly symmetric. So let's work on the front. So this here, so we're gonna grab a few things. First, we're gonna grab a AvonTech hub spine, and this, what it's gonna do is link the cockpit, the first floor, with the second floor of the hangar. I realized if I put the cockpit directly here, it does not generate a door. The only way for me to generate a door here has been by using a hub spine, and then it will force the door. So make sure you put that. So that goes in here. And then we're gonna put two of these Matilija weapon holds. So two on each side. The weapon hold is under structure, not under weapons. And you're gonna see the top one, and then you're gonna see the bottom one. So you're gonna flip until you get the bottom one. And here's how it works. So once you bring in a new one, you're gonna see these kind of 4 crosses on each side. And then we're gonna look for a weapon. You can look for a weapon of your choice. You're gonna look for weapons that also have, let me zoom out a little bit. You're gonna look for weapons that also have those little corners that has those little crosses, and those are the weapons that you will be able to put inside. So if I grab this one just as an example, you move it and it will snap into it. So now you know that, okay, the weapon is correct, and you don't have to flip the weapons. The system will automatically do it. When you're in game, it just gets lower, and you're gonna see the weapons now outside. So that's how you do those weapons. So that's there. I'm gonna delete that one since I already have mine. 2 on each side. Boom, goes there. And then on the side of the weapon holes, you're gonna put also 2 more Nova braking engines. So one goes in here and another one goes in here. And if you did everything correctly, it should not clip into anything. Below here, what we're doing is we're going to put this AvonTech Neo. So this is facing down. I think when you see it on the menu, I think this large one is the one that shows up. So just kind of do a variant until you see this one. And this goes below, it kind of gets attached to the AvonTech spine. It clips when you're in the game, it kind of clips a little bit in, but it's minimal, it doesn't do anything, so it's all good, not a big deal. Now that we have this, we can actually move the bridge. And I am using this version, the one with no protruding thingies, because you have a couple of variants, right, where it has like a building cross passages and things like that. So I am using the one that is completely flat, has nothing. And the first floor links to this. We're gonna leave the top for other connections. So we have, the thing almost coming along pretty well. After this, I think what we're gonna do is maybe work on the wings. So let's work on this thing, so the engine. So it is pretty much all structure except for the engine itself. So we're using the Matilija HWC23 engine. This is the one that has the animation that opens up and then the engine pops out. So I am using that one. There is another version where it doesn't have the animation, where it's just the engine is always outside. Feel free to use that one if you prefer. I kind of like this one. And in front of that, we're gonna put a bunch of structural parts. They are all from AvonTech. So let's start with this one. So this is the AvonTech, the small hull. So you're gonna see a couple of variants, and we're basically use different variants of the hull. So this is one variant. It goes to the side of the engine. Then this is another variant of the hull. So that will be the same, and this is the other variant. So we're gonna use that, and here we're gonna put another small hull. They're all basically the same items but different versions, different variants. Once you have that, we're gonna add this one. So this is the AvonTech Flare engine. So this is from AvonTech Shipyards, I think, because this one actually has the flare animation. So you kind of want that one. And all of that, once it's all done, you can highlight the whole thing and it just goes behind here. So it aligns to the outside of the straw hull and everything just kind of aligns perfectly. And now we can put the Deimos belly, because the Deimos belly now sticks to the AvonTech small hull. So now we can put that and you have this part complete. And on the other side is exactly the same, but make sure that you flip it accordingly. But it's basically the same parts, all AvonTech structure parts plus the engine. You can highlight the whole thing, and oops, it goes in there. So everything kind of sits flush. So perfect. So we have that. Let's see, what should we work on next? All right, let's get this part behind. Let's get this part done. So let's start with the stairs. Okay, so these are the small stairs, the 4 variant. Make sure that you can walk in from here and not from behind. So we're gonna move that. Let me put it back here. You're gonna attach a cross spine hub on the first floor. And I put portholes on each side of the stairs as well. If you like, you can do that as well. And behind that, I put the Pinch AZ reactor. This goes right behind the stairs, and the top sits absolutely flush. Below the reactor, what I have is a companionway, 1x1. This is from Straw Premium Edition, and this is for the Docker. So we have the extender port 200 Docker. This is from Tayo. You could use a different one if you prefer. I think this one kind of works. It's low profile and it looks pretty nice. And don't worry about the access, because it connects later to this hub, to the Trident workshop. So there, and of course there is a porthole here as well. Now on each of the sides we have engines, so we can probably start putting those engines first. So we have 4 of those, the Matilija Aerospace, the same ones as the ones in the wings. So 1 on each side of the reactor and 1 on each side of the Docker, the companionway, actually, not the Docker, and that goes in there. Now in the middle, sandwich in between the engines, we have the same AvonTech small hulls. So you have 2 and 2, and you're gonna look basically for the version that is, you know, the other variant, the horizontal variant, if you will. So you're gonna get those on there. Now to the side of the small hulls, I just added some Nova thrusters arrays. This is just for decoration. I didn't like the look of the emptiness, I guess, of that. So I had to put something and I put those in there. Yeah, feel free to have those or not. It's all good. And then in between, so for this, you probably have to add this first and then you'll be able to add this. I am adding some AvonTech corner thingies. These are structure from AvonTech, so I'm adding this one, so that connects to the engine, and then I have another one, another variant that connects from below, and in between sandwich is this small hull from AvonTech. So it just kind of look like, you know, there's something that goes into the engine. Otherwise it just looks weird that the engines are just there with nothing going in. So I just felt like I needed this. Same thing on the other side. This is just all kind of off a look. Otherwise it looks kind of, you know, funky, that the engines are just floating and not drawing power from anywhere. So once we have all of these, we can kind of put it in. So this thingy, the spine, will connect to the second floor of the Tiger hub, the 3x3, and then this companionway below will connect to the Trident, the 2x2 hangar. So we can grab all of these and just boom, we can just shove it in and everything should now be aligned. Perfect. All right, perfect. So all of that is good. So now we just need to do, I think we have to now do this part that kind of goes, you know, on top. Is basically the third level. So the first level to the second level, you are using stairs from the Tiger hub inside. And then from the second level to the third level, you're using the stairs. So now let's work on the third floor here. And let me see what's the best way to do this. I'm gonna remove these thingies, these structures from AvonTech, just so that you can see what's going on. It's easy to put it back. We have to start from somewhere, so let's just start with here. Let's just grab the first part. Let's grab the armory, the 2x1 Strauss Special Edition armory, and let's put 2 Matilija Aerospace crossspine hubs. Let's just put 2 of those. Feel free to use a vanilla HopeTech hub spine if you prefer, but I kind of like it for the windows, so you know, I just put those. So put 2 of those, and after you put those, we can put this battle station weapon hold, and these are hubs. So you're gonna go on the hubs and you're gonna look for the Matilija battle station. Make sure to look for the aft version because we want the entrance to be here, because you're going in from here. So put those there, and it sits kind of here, not all the way to the front. And once you put this here, you can put another cross spine in front, and this will all sit flush. Do the same on the other side and finish it off, you know, with another cross hub spine. And now we can work on some of these decorative things. So we have another AvonTech small hull. It's the same that we use back here for one of the wings. So we're using the same one here, but in front we're putting this AvonTech nose. I think you have a couple of variants of noses. I think this is the first one that shows up, and we're looking for this small one. So we're gonna put that nose there, and we do the same thing on the other side. And here, towards the back, we're gonna put another Nova braking engine. With that, we're done with the front. I have 2 portholes here, and right after the armory, we are putting the Tiger bulb, and I think this is in hubs, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I can find it. It is under hubs, and you have a couple of variants, and what the variant is changing is the stairs inside where you want it to face. So I have this one facing towards the back of the ship, the aft. But you can have it, facing towards the front of the ship or towards the side. I think you have it as well. So I chose the aft version. On each of the side, you're gonna have. I just made a mistake. This, by the way, this thingy here, that goes in here. We're gonna talk about that later, but this goes in here. I just realized that was a mistake. Okay, so on each of the side, we have AvonTech cross braces. So here and here, and they lead to these 1x1 storeroom. So we have a storeroom here. We have another storeroom there. I just went with the standard vanilla style storerooms. They all have a porthole in the front. And we also have this Deimos bumper. This is a vanilla structure to the side. So let's talk about this little thing on the top. So I have a weapon mount, and on top of that I have a Matilija scanning radar dish. So this one kind of gives you some perks, like it reduces your time to log in onto enemies by 25%. Weapons also cost 20% less to use in targeting mode and things like that. So you're gonna find this little thing under equipment, just like where we found the shield boosters for Matilija. So in the same menu, you're gonna look for this. The other dish is a radar jammer. So this is to increase 50% your chance of avoiding contraband scans, positive scans. So instead of using the vanilla version, I decided to use the Matilija one because for looks, they kind of match. So same thing, the 1x1 storeroom and then the Deimos bumper. So we can now work on this, and this is pretty simple. It's just 3 2x1 hubs. I guess you could go with a 2x3 hub instead, but I kind of wanted variety, so I went with a vanilla style control station, premium edition infirmary, and premium edition hydroponics, and have some portholes in front of these two. And then next to those hubs on the outside, we have a AvonTech spine, and we also have this 1x1 from Matilija. This is the glass 4-way cross passage. This is the all glass one that you can see through. And then in the corner, we have the large corner decks, so 2 on each side. And on top of the glass cross passage, we have another equipment plate with the remaining turrets. So these are the same turrets on the previous floor. We are finishing up the other set here. And finally, at the back, you finish off with another cross spine hub from Matilija. And this is the one that's gonna lead straight into those stairs on the 3rd floor. We have some decorative thingies that we can put back. So this one goes in here, this one goes in here, and this one goes in here. Once you have all these, we can highlight the whole thing, and we can just drag it to the top, the 3rd floor. So let me see, everything should match perfectly. Perfect, yeah. All right, and now we just have some finishing touches. So let's just grab, you can have 3 of these AvonTech hoods. We're gonna work on this one at the back, the one for the shield generator. So you're just gonna grab a hood, and this will go on top and emerges slightly into the AvonTech plating. We're gonna put the Matilija Aerospace, the shield generator. This is the C-Class HMFX. This goes right on top of it. This is the one with the nice animation with the lights. And then on the sides, we have 2 more for the weapon. So this one, we go in here. Be careful, so make sure that is a little bit forward, not at the back too much. So that just goes in here. It kind of covers slightly the this area, but from the inside you can still kind of see out. Let me see, I think this one is there, right? Yeah, it goes in here. We have the remaining of those particle beams, and of course don't forget the equipment plate, and that goes on top. And then on the other side, we do the same thing. We grab the other AvonTech hood that goes in there, and weapon with the plate goes in here. And then finally, we have the large AvonTech hood. So this is all structure. This is basically just a different variant of the other hood. And this is this variant. So this goes right in here. It should cover a little bit the logo, but not the whole thing. And it should absolutely clear the dome. You should not clip into it. There you have it. And personally, I think this was a pretty badass looking build. I do like this ship quite a lot. I've been using it as my primary ship until I get a new idea for another ship build. But yeah, there you have it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have ideas as well for other ships. I think I have 2 more ideas. I haven't actually started building yet, but hopefully there's something different, there's something unique. All right, well, if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe, support my channel. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, enjoy the game, have fun, and I'll see you all in the next video.